What's going on, everybody? It's Josh, aka the Muslim Muscle, coming at you with another Next Up podcast with my boy.
We wanted
The
to
thing
change
always
the
gets
name,
flipped.
but Cousin Creamy. Why?
Yeah.
You said you
Oh
want to
yeah.
change the name.
Oh
Fuck
yeah. Yeah.
you.
I thought you meant of the whole podcast. I
No,
was like,
shut
what
the
are you
fuck up.
talking about? Where'd that come
Cousin
from?
Creamy coming at you. How we doing with our special guest today?
Joe Santoro. I don't know if I was
Yeah,
So
we don't
we do
introduce
that to
people. You
everybody.
introduce yourself.
Joe Santoro. What up? Bodybuilder, owner of Lift Fucking Heavy. How we doing?
We are getting into it today. So Joe doesn't even know the topic. Colin doesn't know the topic. I'm the only one who knows the topic, as it should be. We're going to talk a little bit about, origin stories, a little bit about like Lift Fucking Heavy, where it came from, um, and kind of everyone's origin story. Me and Colin have both talked about like kind of our bodybuilding origin stories, but like in general, just tell your little superhero arc. So let's get into it. When did Live Fucking Happy start as a full blown like company selling stuff, and then when did it start in like your head? When did you decide like I'm gonna make this a fucking thing?
So I was actually working as a pool boy. This was like 2 years. I was hustling
Ooh,
boy route, so I was opening, closing pools. I was cleaning pools, installing liners.
having
But
sex with the moms. We know it's okay.
you know, um, so I'm doing this, and I was like really building a clientele. I was like pretty much running this guy's operation. He had like 40 clients, all high end clients. So I was getting familiar working on big pools and all that. And I started building my own side business. So I actually came up with something. It was going to be the pool sharks. And I made a whole design for what my business was going to be. It was like a jacked shark holding like a fucking net. And I'm like, all right, it looks like this is what I'm about to be doing. So the last season I did, it's coming to an end. And I started really getting into fitness. I was training at Bev. So I was around pro bodybuilders and I was starting to build a little bit of a physique. I knew I was really into the fitness thing. I started posting like TikTok content, but it was like half pool content and half fitness content. So I'm doing that, but I'm like, yo, these are long days. I'm fucking shot by the time I go to the gym. And I wasn't very passionate about cleaning pools. So it's like sitting in the truck one day and I was just really, I'm like, how the fuck could I get out of this? Like, how could I do something else? How could I make like at least something that I'm passionate about? So I'm like sitting there and I start thinking about, I guess, like clothing because I had launched another clothing brand maybe 2 years before this. Shirt somewhere. I'm gonna get you a shirt in a second. It was called Giggity Gains. So I made like 20.
Love it.
I gotta show
That's great.
you real quick. I gotta show you it. So I made like 25 of these shirts. I did like one photo shoot myself, and I'm like, this is whack. I'm like, this is not going anywhere. But I had launched that line. It wasn't like anything official. So I knew like I wanted to do something with clothing. But I gotta show you the shirt.
That is a fantastic
I
name.
love how he just had it there, like on deck. That's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the GG on the back.
GG.
I
Yo,
made this
you
shirt.
got extra ones of those?
You know, I
Re-release that in the next drop.
I double checked. I had two extras. This was one of them because we just cleaned the apartment like last week, and I found two. I gave one to Inaya, and I took one. Um, yeah, I started that, so I was always into like, even though that's really not a design, but like I was familiar with the website on how to make clothes and shit. So I'm thinking about it. I get home after this day of work, and I'm just sitting on my bed on that same app. I'm just like thinking of shit, and I'm like, I don't know. It just came to my. I'm like, lift fucking heavy. Let me just write it on a shirt. So like that original shirt that I made, it just said lift fucking heavy across the whole back, LFH on the front. I'm like, all right, this is better than Giggity Gains. I'm like, this could be something here. So I went. My partner at the time was working the pools with me. So I went to him. I'm like, yo, check this out. Showed him the design. And he's like, yo, that's dope. I'm like, you want to print some? Like, let's see what happens. Because when I had printed the Giggity Gain shirts, I was making some sales, like to my boys. I would like fucking drop them off to them. So we ended up printing 50 of them out. Got them made. Ended up wearing one to the gym like the first day they were made. And I swear, within 5 minutes, some kid comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, where'd you get that? That shit's fire." I'm like, "Yo, I got it in my trunk." So I sold the shirt within like 20 minutes of me having it on. I'm like, all right, this is different because this is someone I don't even know coming up to me about the shirt. So after that, I had like a little bit of confidence in it. I'm like, yo, I might have something here. So what we ended up doing was driving to pretty much every LA fitness within like a 15-20 mile radius and going in there and being like, yo, can we set up a table? We got this clothing brand. And yo, they pretty much all said yeah. So then we set up our first pop-up table. We had two t-shirts, same design, just different colors on maybe like a 4 foot table with a red tablecloth. It was like it didn't look great. But we had the two t-shirts sitting on it. And then to fill up space, we put like mad like paperwork, like, oh, write your name if you I don't know. It was but that's what we did. And we ended up selling like 20 shirts the first time that we did it. Like, all right, now 20 people that don't even know us like the clothing. A big variety of people like the clothing. Like, all right, we got something here. So from there, I just was like, all right, do I want to start a pool business and work this blue collar job that I'm really not loving? Or do I want to try this and start this business up? So I obviously went with the shirts. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm going all in with this. So I like made the Instagram, started posting shit, started building a little bit more of a community on Long Island. And then as it kept going, I just got more creative with the designs and started pushing more content and stuff. And about 2 3 months into it, was like, this is probably going to get stolen if I don't patent this. If I don't make this legit, like if people start seeing this, like the reaction that I'm just seeing face to face, like people are probably going to pick up on that online. So then immediately, once we really started pumping out the content, I got the patent, LLC, made it official. Um, yeah, and then from there, I just really dove in. I was designing shit pretty much every night. Maybe like 50% of them I actually liked, but it was just constantly creating new shit. Um, and yeah, I just kind of fell in love with that. And it obviously aligned with my passion for bodybuilding because my style of training is lifting heavy. So it's like I actually represent what the shirt is saying. It's not like I'm going in there and not training hard. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It was either the pool boy or the shirts, and I picked the shirts.
Yeah. So first and foremost, just to have that return that quick, like 20 minutes into wearing the first t-shirt to turn around and say, yeah, I got a customer, that had to feel fantastic. Kind of gives you an idea that like you're on the right path either way. So since the like origin of it, obviously you're no longer with that business partner. Where have you seen like the biggest struggles? Where have you seen like the biggest successes when it comes to it? Like I know for a fact that you're a hustler. Like you will drive across the country to turn around and set up a table. So like where have you seen the biggest success and where have you seen the biggest attractions from like moving forward?
Um, well, success wise, I feel I'm really in my element when I'm doing these tables at these events. Like when I'm behind the booth, I could explain what it means. I could actually connect with people so they could kind of put a face behind the brand. So it's more so it's like a personal connection I'll be building with customers that end up getting the shirts. Um, I'd say the biggest struggle for me is the management side of it. It's like I got all these ideas and all this passion to go out and hustle and do all these crazy things, but like that back end side of it, like with the paperwork and the real tedious shit, that's not my strong suit. So running it, I mean, being the sole owner of it, it's like I have to be able to do all of that. But that's, I guess, where it slows me a little bit. So I'm not great with the paperwork and all like the logistical sides of things.
Gotcha. When when it comes down to it at the end of the day and you're trying to build this brand, where do you see it? Like we see how it started now. Where do you see this in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now? Because obviously the lovely thing about this, we'll call it a sport of bodybuilding or a sport of lifting weights. You can't lift fucking heavy forever. Sooner or later, you're going to get to a point where like things are going to be broken enough to say like, hey, I don't know about this one no more. So like, where do you see it in the long run? Is it a lifestyle brand? Is it a training brand? Like, how do you project the future for this?
Well, I think as far as the training, I could picture it being, well, I vision it being like a household, like apparel line for fitness, like a young LA Gymshark, how Inaka used to be. Like I could picture it being on that level. I do like the lifestyle side of it and like other aspects of athletics outside of just like training, like MMA. Like I like the fighting scene, and I think it kind of fits that also. So yeah, I could picture it being like a household fitness name, like fitness at the core, but then there being other elements to it.
Gotcha. Colin, do you have any like business style questions for him?
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, you just went to, well, we talked about it earlier, but you were down in North Carolina. And as far as traveling down there and obviously, kind of doing the hustle and bustle behind it, because again, it's your brand's not like, for instance, like you said, Young LA or Gymshark. So it's like the exposures to the extent of yourself. How how did that go? Like, how was that trip? What positives did you get from it? What negatives did you get from it? Was it worth the time that you spent down traveling? Because again, like seeing different parts of the country is great and all, but it's more so for the sake of, for your sake, business. Like, how was that return on the reaction here? Because even when I had some of the shirts in Raleigh, people love the shirts, and from there I, pointed them to your page and et cetera, et cetera. It's more so like what kind of response did you get from people in a completely different area with realistically a completely different outlook in which whether they how they live, how they move, how they act, all that kinds of things.
Yeah. Um, well, the trip in itself was like everything that I needed because before going on this trip, I was in a spot mentally where I was like almost ready to just give up on the brand, give up on the fitness, give up on the content and all that. So I went like a few months, but really not doing much to push it at all. I kind of fell into this like hole where I just didn't want to post any content. I didn't want to create any new designs. I was not like myself for a few months. So the point of the trip for us when we went was to kind of like re-spark that fire. So when uh when we planned to go, we were like considering maybe flying, or we were considering just making it like an actual vacation. But um yeah, like I said, the past few months I fell in. I guess you could say like a depression. Like I wasn't myself.
Mm.
Wasn't even talking to people. I wasn't even going to public gyms. Like I was just training by myself. I was staying real low key about it. And my inventory's in my apartment. So I'm like looking at this shit every day. Like I wouldn't even look at it. So when we ended up going, I'm like, fuck it. Let's pack up the car. Let's do it how we've been when we're really hustling. Let's do what we do. So we fucking packed up the whole car, literally to the brim, put the table in it with really no game plan. We're like, let's just see what the fuck happens. There's obviously gyms over there. Uh, Josh had told me that you're out there, so that's when I hit you up. I think when we were on the way.
Mm.
Um, so
Also,
yeah,
real quick, got to shout out Naya. She's she's got your back. Got
she
it. I know she's somewhere in the room. She's got your back. So shout out Naya. You deserve it.
she
So
here. Yeah. She's editing her for her YouTube right now.
cool. But she deserves a little bit of appreciation because kept you down, got you back. So good shit.
She does always reciprocated also. But yeah. So we packed the car up. We're like, let's go. It took us like maybe 12 hours to get there. Got there like 3 a.m. Woke up the next morning. We're like, all right, we could either enjoy our time, like just make it a vacation, or we could really get things going. So immediately, I'm like, fuck it, let's call some LA Fitnesses. Let's get back to how it used to be. And luckily enough, the first LA Fitness I called, it was like their member appreciation day. So they go,
Oh,
oh, actually come set up today. I'm like, fucking perfect. So we were at court. I think we were on our way to Core 24 at this time. Like, perfect. We'll be there. So we end up training at Core 24, right to LA Fitness. And again, great feedback. Immediately, the people at the front desk were like, holy shit, this is different. We have never seen anything like this down here. Um, a lot of the members that were coming in and out, because there was two other vendors there. And most people were like attracted to our table. So that definitely felt good because for, like I said, those few months, I really lost belief in the brand. I guess just in everything, but it felt good to see people again that I don't know supporting it, asking about it. I'm like, all right, this was great. So then the next day we're like, fuck it, let's go back. Went back to the same LA Fitness, and again, more people that I didn't know were coming up to it, and it was two really good days of vendoring. For the brand, just for myself too. It was real good. So then obviously when we went to train at the Fitness Factory, we also went to another dope gym. Colin, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, SNS. It's like a
nope.
training studio, but she's got like dope equipment in there. She's a power.
Okay.
I think it's in Charlotte.
Yeah, no, never heard of it. I planted roots here and I have yet to fucking get over to
I was gonna,
Charlotte any
Gotcha.
I
Yeah,
was
but
gonna
this,
say he's a hermit.
fuck
Colin stays in
you.
his town.
Eat a
You don't
dick.
leave. I'm a hermit too, so it's all right. I don't leave.
Yeah, but forcefully, you own a fucking gym. What the fuck do I own? I work at a goddamn country club.
We moved from Jersey to there though, so we'll count it. We'll
Whatever.
count it.
it's a good spot though, and you'd have. I mean, I can't imagine it getting too packed because you have to like scan in to get in.
Yeah.
Got pretty good equipment.
Word.
That place was cool. But yeah, then just going to those gyms and like actually training, I got back to actually like talking to people because I'm wearing the clothes, and that was kind of that's how I built it. It's mainly just like talking to people on foot. Like I feel like I've generated more of a community in person than online. So yeah, I mean the trip overall, it was incredible in all ways, especially like the timing of it. Um, it couldn't have been better. So
Yeah.
that kind of re-sparked a lot for me.
Yeah, so I was about to ask, is that was this kind of like the push or like that spark that was kind of needed just for the sake of again how your mental was and where you were in your life at that point in time. Because again, like you said, the good thing is that you did bring your shit because you could have said if you realistically you're like, fuck it, just make it a vacation, or you had options. You could have said, yes, it's a vacation, I'm not gonna do the business, or you're like, fuck it, shit's already here, might as well give it another shot.
Yeah, that's exactly how I looked at it. I'm like, if we go take this as a vacation, that's putting me further in the hole of being away from it. But now that we're back doing the pop-ups, it's like, all right, kind of brought me back up a little bit, and
Yeah,
kind of took the
Bring you
moment.
back down to grassroots.
Yeah, it was really good.
good.
I want to get into a little bit more about you personally and your journey. So, like, obviously, this is more of a bodybuilding style podcast than anything. I don't really know what it exactly is, but we'll call it that. Um, so obviously, you competed. If people didn't know you competed,
I didn't even fucking
let's
know that.
yeah. So let's talk about like, yo, what's the purpose of you even getting in the gym in the first place? What's the reason why you wanted to compete? How'd you do? Do you Are you better or worse than me? Because I'm always the worst bodybuilder in the chat.
Please
So
be better. Please be
he
better.
definitely was. Definitely
I,
was.
I think statistically, I'm ranked lower because I did one amateur show. I did the Long Island's in what was it not let the year what year was it? 2 years ago, I did the Long Island's, and I got second in novice and fifth in the open.
Fuck.
No,
Sorry.
technically he still has placed higher than I
Mother,
have. You're only as good as your last performance.
Yeah,
14th.
that's not a fucking pro qual, dickhead.
yeah. So
We both got second in novice, so
That's true.
I'm ranked third. I'm third, so I'm the worst in the pod right now.
I don't know about that one. We're tied for last. We'll
Yeah,
take that one. Fuck yeah. What a win. All right, so
but
what's your reason? Why'd you start training?
Well, yeah, to add on to when I was like cleaning pools and whatnot, I was partying while cleaning the pools. It was like I was living that lifestyle. Like I was going out every weekend, 2 nights a week. And when I started working for the pools, the reason I did was because I dropped out of college. I was playing college basketball, very much into athletics my whole life. And then yeah, I kind of went the other route, just making dumb choices and doing that. So luckily for me, my boss for the pool company had trained. He was a big dude. Not he doesn't compete or anything, but he was training at Bev's. So he'd be asking me every day. He's like, "Yo, you coming to the gym with me today? You coming to the gym with me today?" And I literally have never lifted weights before. So I was like, "All right, fuck it. I'll get a month membership there." And then it was Bev's. So like my first real like weightlifting experience was around pros and guys like that. So once I started training there, I was like immediately like I was in love with it. Like this was like what basketball was for me. So I really just fell in love with the training. Um, and then as I progressed, I was like I felt like I was building a physique. I'm like I think I got the genetics for this. I feel like I'm pretty real with myself. I'm like I think I actually look pretty good. So I think if I take another year or two of training, like I'll actually be able to compete. So I guess just being around it and talking about it, um, it kind of pushed me to actually want to get on stage.
Cool. What was your first show experience like?
Um,
Did you blink and it was over?
Looking back on it, yeah, but I like in it, no. Like I mean, I did a 12-week prep, so I wouldn't say that it wasn't too long, but it was very much up and down. Like, and I felt like I was doing fantastic. Actually, I thought for sure I was gonna win. Like maybe 2 3 weeks out, we drove to Orlando to vendor at the Olympia, and I guess just making that drive and maybe it like alleviated some of the stresses of being in New York. I like looked fantastic when I was there. Like I sent my coach check-ins like one of the nights like after I trained there, he's like, "Dude, you got this. Like, let's just hold it here. Like, you look fucking great." And then a week after that, we added in aldactone, the diuretic, and I don't know if it was a mix of that and taking the carbs out, but I just fucking flattened out all the way into the show, and I couldn't get back up.
Feel like everyone has a situation in their first prep where things don't exactly go quite as they thought, and none of us three in here are gonna compete to lose. So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, hell yeah, I think I'm gonna win. That's probably my favorite thing when people talk crap about Nick Walker. It's like they turn around and they're like, oh, he's so cocky. It's like, wait, I'm sorry, you competed to lose?
Yeah.
He says he's gonna win. He should be saying he's gonna win. He should be saying he's gonna win the Mr. Olympia. Otherwise, why the fuck is he doing it? It makes no sense.
Hmm.
So, but I've definitely been there. My last prep, 8 weeks out, we were ready. The week of the show, we were not. So I definitely understand that one. Just like watching the look fade and you just crushes you. So, what is your future plans with competing? Do you plan on stepping back on stage at some point?
yeah, I would like to do the Long Island's again this year. So
Ooh.
I'm yeah, so well on top of me falling into that weird space I was just saying before, like getting the brand started. I don't think it helped that I just completely cold turkey the test. So I just completely got off everything without PC. Yeah, it was a dumb decision. So I got off of everything. I probably lost 15 pounds. So I'd say I got like 5 months to put it back on, get back to where I was, because I thought I was at a good starting point to like really maybe considering doing a prep. Maybe a few months ago.
The thing you don't know, Colin, is that like he's a big boy, right? Like he's a big boy. He disappeared for the time. He came back. He was what are you like 190 when he came back?
Yeah, 190, 191.
He already looks like he's back up to 200 pounds. I don't know if he is or not, but like he's definitely responding very well.
Damn.
Let's just put it that way. Super
Yeah,
responder, maybe, maybe not, but like he's quick, really quick bounce back. So I think he'll be ready for Long Island's, and he's going to look ridiculous. It obviously doesn't hurt that he's training at Ultimate. So
Fair.
definitely. Well, what do you guys think? So obviously, not doing a PCT, dumb decision. Like I'm sure I gotta go get my blood work done. But do you think I'm gonna respond better to the test now since I've been off of it for those months? Like how would you think the body responds to that?
I wouldn't
Colin, I'll
necessarily.
let you spit.
I mean, I necessarily wouldn't say you're gonna react better. You're gonna feel better because anyone who cold turkeys and doesn't PCT, even if you do PCT, you feel like dog shit. And like, especially with the thing you're going through, it just kind of amplifies it because again, when you come off of elevated hormones and you just say fuck it and go nothing, and then once all those half-lives and everything's out of your system and you got nothing, your test is at bare minimum. You are gonadal and it's gonna make you feel like shit mentally, physically. It's just every day you're living in a cloud. So the placement of it going back in, it's gonna be something where you're gonna feel like fucking Superman. So the response from the test, I feel, is going to be the same, but the actual reaction of yourself, of being able to push yourself and be like, I feel fucking fantastic. Pumps are, I can get a fucking skin splitting pump again. This is fucking great. Because I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. A natural pump, an enhanced pump, two fucking different things. So it's something where that drive is going to be there. So it's going to make you want to train even harder. It's going to make you want to push yourself even further, especially keeping yourself on a steady state. I wouldn't necessarily say like from an anatomy side of things where you'd actually physically have a better response. I would just feel like physically you're going to have a lot better response just because again, mental's in the right place, training's in the right place, nutrition's in the right place. If everything's all aligned, it's going to be that times 10 when you come back.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Agreed. There is something to like androgen receptor sensitivity, but like
To
for
an
you,
extent.
no, yeah. Also, like knowing how much, because I know a little bit of the finer details, knowing how much you were doing compared to like what you would need to have been doing to then clear out like that to even reset the androgen, that ain't happening. So it's not like you're going to turn around and just be cleared out and then just super respond to it. Your actual response is going to be just what it is. And like the best part about all of it is that like you're not just you your baseline wasn't like floor, right? Your baseline was pretty good to begin with. So now when you add that back in, you get the training right, you get the sleeping right, you have, your head on straight when it comes to working. Everything is going in the right direction. I think you're going to respond better just because of that. Being in a better headspace. What was the term? A healthy body makes better gains.
Yeah.
So like a healthy mind leads to a healthier body, leads to better gains. So as long as everything is in the right, everything's queued up, the boxes are ticked, you should experience better results just from that.
And especially when it comes to like we were talking mental before, it's like especially if the brand is going in the right direction, even if it's and again, I'm not saying like, oh, overnight fucking, you gain 200,000 followers, your business just explodes. Like, but if you have a gradual increase of just time after time, you see that the amount of stress that's going to be alleviated from you is going to correlate into the physical look because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If you're stressed out and if you're doing a bodybuilding prep, if you're just lifting in general, a stressed out body and a stress-free body responds completely different, naturally and or enhanced because you can have all the drugs in the world. If you're loaded with stress, you are going to look like dog shit. You're going to feel like shit. As long as your headspace is right, business is growing, you're doing everything you have to do. Like he said, you're ticking all the boxes. There's going to be nothing but a positive response from that.
Yeah. I've definitely even it's been I mean, it's been a week and a half that I'm back on the test, and it's almost like I feel like it's completely back again. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's done its thing yet, but I guess that mental side of it, since I have a little bit more clarity and I'm actually making business moves, and it's almost seeming like I'm back on and I'm back into the swing of things.
You're also getting dopamine hits from every time that you accomplish a task. So like having been in a position where you weren't exactly accomplishing as much and now getting back to it and really like ticking the boxes, making sales, going in person, seeing people, and like every move that you've been making recently is going to be building the brand. You
Mhm.
know that's going to be a positive direction. So you're getting those little dopamine spikes. So everything's going to feel better anyway. You're going to be more on your shit. You're going to be more organized. You're going to be more productive. And that's just how it's going to be. So it's just going to continue to move in the proper direction there.
Yeah, no, it's
So
definitely it's a good combination of things, but it's
yeah,
working.
that's a beautiful thing about it is that like, especially in fitness in general, you don't have to be on 100% all of the time. You're better off being like 80%, 85% all of the time than you are 100% for 50% of the time. It's compounding interest and it's compounding wins. So every day that you stack another W on top of another one, it's going to be a lot harder to take your first L and it feel like something. If you're 1-1, you feel like you're behind the eight ball.
Yep,
If you're 6-0 and you lose one game, you don't feel that bad. Hey, we hit a road bump. We're going to just continue to push forward. So like that's where it comes down to in business and fitness and everything is like stack wins because one loss is going to feel like a lot less when you got a lot of wins.
for sure.
So
Yeah,
think realistically, that is the key to just about everything at the end of the day. Like staying in a positive headspace while riding the midline, but like midline should be a little bit elevated.
yeah.
So
I'm very big on win the day. As long as you can win the day, do things that are getting you closer to your goals, regardless if it's even like a half a step, but just any sort of movement, progression towards where you're trying to go, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal this one from Zan Carver, but it's all about daily
ooh,
deposits.
Yeah,
You'll see on a story every fucking day. I
I
love
love
that
I
kid too. Yeah, that is my boy.
consistency.
He is all about consistency, and he's a hustler. The kid works his, I call it a 9 to 5. That motherfucker works like a 9 to 7 body build. He's in a prep right now. It's literally just stacking wins, daily deposits, doing everything that's going to better you for the bet for the next day, and just continue that and just ride the midline. Literally, just go, go, go. So it's something that I've really started to take on myself, especially within my prep, but also getting myself in a nice little headspace down here. It's just daily deposits, making every proper choice for yourself to just keep getting better day in and day out.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Daily deposit's a good one. I like that.
So before we run out of time, if you guys haven't yet, absolutely go check out the brand. Go check out Lift Fucking Heavy. I know I have a code. It's somewhere. Uh, if don't use my code, pay full price. Be good people. But realistically, Colin, go ahead.
Well, yet again, it has been another Next Up podcast. Joe, thank you again for coming on, man. Thank you for letting our viewers know about, your headspace, your brand, how you're coming back, everything about it. But there are probably, I'm guessing, going to be drops coming up soon.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
soon.
So,
Next month for sure.
so we got drops coming up soon. It's gonna be a nice little comeback. So I'm excited to see it. But as always, thank you again for coming on, and we will see you guys next week.
Appreciate you guys
Oh
having.
yeah, of course, brother. Great to have you.
All right,
Peace.
great day.